The cartoons that Charlie Hebdo published were very much a part of the story, very much a part of the story. And it became an editorial question of, does such and such news organization, do we publish the cartoons that are at the heart of the story, putting ourselves and our employees at risk? Do we stand with freedom of speech? Do we proclaim that the bullies have not won? Do we publish these cartoons or not? And this event has allowed us to see what of our American and actually worldwide news organizations really do stand for freedom of speech and which ones do not. And I don't know, you guys have you seen any surprises in people who were willing to publish the cartoons and gained some respect for organizations that you didn't necessarily respect before?
No, not really. In particular, seeing how the New York Times has responded has just been, it's ridiculous. How we as a nation is seen so much protecting our First Amendment rights, and how particularly the left is so known for some reason or another. It doesn't, they don't seem like it lately, but known to be out there and protecting those rights, and to be pushing the limits of free speech and making sure that it's known that it's protected. Not so much from the New York Times, not so much from a lot of other liberal publications, and it's annoying. Certainly, a lot of conservative news outlets have put out these cartoons. I know CNN also did. I guess that's a surprise, and that was good of them. But
did they? I didn't. I had CNN on my bad list.
No, they put they put the cartoons out.
They did finally. Well, that's good. That removes them from my bad list. Consists of the New York Times, NBC, MSNBC, and the Associated Press. And when it's the Associated Press, that means that most newspapers across the country, because that's where they get their content.
Yeah, and the thing about the Associated Press that was really insane to me, I saw Larry O'Connor posted about this, during the week on his Facebook page, that the Associated Press took down their pictures of Piss Christ.
Oh, to retcon that they are respecting. That it's not that they're afraid of Islamists. They're doing it out of respect.
Yes, clearly that's the case.
Yeah.
That's been in the culture for how many years, and now all of a sudden, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That's so inconsistent. It's not even funny.
And
it's
those outlets that said we're not publishing because, while this particular author may be brave, I don't have a right to take that risk for the people I work with. I can at least respect that as being honest. You're doing it because you're scared of the Islamists. You're saying, I'm a chicken.
It's scared of the lawsuits that would ensue from an attack by Islamists. Let's be very clear.
God, that's probably more true. I did want to say the list that I have of those who did publish the cartoons, and this would be the ones who not only published the original cartoons, but also published what came out today, which is the Charlie Hebdo's next issue, their follow-up after the with the staff that remains alive. But anyway, the list of the ones that I do have that are the good guys: National Review Online, Fox News, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, Los Angeles Times, New York Post, Weekly Standard, Bloomberg, Huffington Post, Daily Beast, Getty, Vox and BuzzFeed, The Guardian, the BBC, the Times of London, the Financial Times, Spain's El País, which obviously I'm not Spanish, I pronounced that totally wrong, and Germany's Berliner Zeitung. Those also ran the cartoons, and I'm certain there were more in Spain and Germany and elsewhere. This is just what I had the list of. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that Vox and BuzzFeed and the Huffington Post published the cartoons. That's definitely points in their favor. And on the bad side, there was an article by a German, not a German blogger, but a German news writer who said that he has long had a great deal of respect for the New York Times, considered them America's news source, as so many of us grew up thinking. And this episode, he has lost all respect for them because he's seen them for what they are. And it's big news shines a bright light on everyone, and you get to see who people really are. And they've shown themselves. So many in our media have shown themselves as cowards.
Right.
To the extent that they'll show a picture of the Charlie Hebdo cartoons, and they will crop it so that you see everything but the picture of Muhammad. But they won't crop out the picture of, the nasty cartoon caricature of the Jew. They'll leave that, but they'll black out Muhammad. So it's not that they're afraid of being offensive.
No, it's a very particular group that they're afraid of offending. But I want to stop for just a second and pause on this. The same week in which 12 people were massacred in Paris, 2,000 or so were killed in Africa. Was it Nigeria? I don't remember. It was Thursday night.
Nigeria.
I was watching Foreign Matters from FRN. It was Stefan, who we had on last week, and George Templeton, Rodent Politics. And they brought this story up, and it was something that had just happened on Thursday, or Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. And those guys went in and explained what happened, talked about who was doing it. And I've seen very little coverage in the media about that. And it was Boko Haram, another Muslim organization, a Muslim terrorist organization here, that has done that.
They were the ones of the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag fame, by the way.
Yes. And
have they brought back our girls yet?
The Western media is nearly silent on this. I've seen a couple of stories, but it has been nearly silent on this. So can we also say that the media has been very choosy about who they cover in terms of lives
weren't
matter?
Those black lives that mattered?
Thank you. Thank you. Do we find that massacres in Africa are less important, even done by the same mindset that perpetuated the Paris massacre? Are they less important because they live in Africa? That's disgusting to me that that's the case, but that's what the media has been doing.
And
it's Boko Haram. Cherry picking.
And it's Boko Haram, another radical Islamist organization looking to spread their version of Sharia law everywhere at the point of a gun.
He calls it trying to grasp eels in the book. It's that difficult to pin these people down. And his advice is, go for the hypocrisy. Well, we've been illustrating for the past 5 minutes that hypocrisy, whether it's on rape, whether it's on race, whether it's on speech. All of these things that the left claims that they value